You alone, cause if a body did good, the man would have shelf life is alright with me. Man because you're hotter than she. Take a gal man and turn that you know me to style. A gal a chat till I feel leave you alone, cause if a body did good. Dirty man because you're hotter than she. Shout out to everybody on the check-in. Why if you know gal can't point in your face? Gal a look your man up your face. But then with your looks and your face and shape, gal not stop for one time and shoes lace. Don't get him and Sunday make she light. A few pop them a scrape the ball. I got a shuttle up for you. I don't have it for my day. The man will not go home. Just him and because that's than she. Take that man and turn that in the middle. Take him once at all. Do you picture them for the man make you wall? Stand up, get the firm and tall. What makes about them make you yo. 440 alive, 440 in the building, 440 in the building. Love you know, you know, peace and blessings to everybody. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Oh, yeah.
Good brother. What's the word, man? Salute to you, baby. How's everything?
I can't complain, bro. How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm blessed, man. Every day above ground is a blessing, you know.
Yes, you are, man.
Yeah, you know.
Shout out to everybody who observed Ramadan this year. Eid Mubarak to all my brothers and sisters, man. It was a blessed Ramadan. I'm grateful to have partaken, and I'm grateful to have done it successfully for the first time ever.
Well, salute to you. Salute to you.
Yeah.
You know, and salute to all my family of the Muslim faith. Welcome to everybody that's in the chat right now. Y'all know I like to party before I get the show started, and I want to thank everybody for coming out. You know, I'm Mr. Three Keys, also known as K. Langevine. Y'all know I'm a DJ at heart, so I'm gonna play my reggae music every week. You know, and it's only right that the brother that we have on the show tonight is a artist extraordinaire, aka Mr. Renaissance Man. And I'm telling you, when you use that and you start making money off of it, all I want is 2%.
You can get that.
All I want is 2%. But
you can get that. Yeah.
But now that we're here, man, you know I like to go through this intro. I just want to say that I appreciate you coming back on the show because you were one of the first guests that I had on the first time I did this, and so I felt it was only right that you come back through and I kind of have it polished, you know.
Appreciate that, bro.
Have it polished and you get a chance to really, you know, showcase all that it is that you have, and that's quite a bit since we've last been here. Shout out to Mark Love in the building, you know. Yeah. But now that we're here, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You are now tuned in with the TKB Report. I'm your host, K. Langevine, also known as Mr. Three Keys. And today's guest needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. This brother is a musical artist. This brother is an illustrator. This brother can do portraits of anybody on the planet, of anything on the planet. This brother most recently came out with a comic book. This brother can go on tour musically. He can have his own art exhibit and have a book signing all in the same day with no help at all. This brother's got his own clothing line. The accolades go on and on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Show this good brother some love. This brother's known as Drift, a.k.a. the Renaissance Man. Please give it up. Give it up for the brother right here.
That's love.
I don't know if you can hear. I don't know if you can hear. I got 10,000 people in here, man.
Yeah,
love. You hear it, brother?
Yeah, you upgraded. Shout out to Miss Shanice Bynum. Your artist ready. I ain't forget you. Your artist definitely ready, and I got you.
Listen, man, I want to start off by saying congratulations on everything that you have going on because it's truly amazing. How's your little man doing?
He's good. He's not so little anymore. You know what I mean? He just turned 14 2 weeks ago. He's like my size, so you know it's scary. But you know, shout out to my son.
I saw a picture of him standing next to you, and I was trying to figure out if that was your man's or your son.
You like the seventh person to say that. That shit is scary. I remember he used to be the size of a little turkey. Now he's my size. Like,
that's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's an understatement. Of it being crazy. Yeah. So, where do we begin? Where do we begin? And I'm gonna send you a picture of the Mr. Three Keys logo that my man did for me. Shout out to Dadisi, one of the illest graffiti artists on the planet.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna send it to you, and I want us to have a conversation while you doing the Mr. Three Keys logo, and at the end of the conversation, we're gonna reveal it. Yeah, we're gonna do it live. Here on this show today, that's another show that I'm about to produce. Me and Drift about to have a show. So, ladies and gentlemen, be looking for that soon.
Soon.
Yeah. So let's talk about the music.
Yes, sir.
You got a new album coming out. What's the title of the album? That came out already. I'm sorry.
It's out. It's entitled "What My Soul Sounds Like." Remember the first interview you and I did? My sister had passed away about an hour before. I say 2 hours before we did the interview. She had passed away. So I did the album in honor of her passing. You know what I mean? So it's entitled "What My Soul Sounds Like." It's I think 10 records on there. It's available on all digital streaming platforms. I got a single out right now entitled "Say It Back," and that's on BT Jams as we speak in rotation. So it's been on the air for about 2 weeks now, and it's doing pretty good, better than most of my singles ever done. So yeah, that's out right now. Then I got another album I intend to release on my birthday, which is May 30th. That's called the NJ Pack New Jersey Park Avenue Committee with my brother Left Guns. So that's a duo album actually. So I got like 8 records on there. That's ready to go. So you know, I'm working very, very diligently. You know.
So you know, you and I have a relationship off the air. You know, and you know I've been praying for you since then. And how's your pops doing?
Pops is doing better. Before my sister passed, about 11 months prior, my father had a stroke, so he was partially disabled. You know, and recently I went to go check him out. And he's walking up the street. You know, walking. I'm like, look at this guy. You know, so he's doing exponentially better. You know, his spirits are up. You know, he looks good. So you know, I'm grateful to Allah for all the blessings, because the blessings are abundant. You know, despite that monumental loss, you know, the passing of my sister, we still very fortunate, very blessed, and you know, I don't have a complaint in the world right now.
Well, you know, I just want to say shout out to one of, you know, my baby brother. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat.
I seen baby bro. Shout out to baby bro. That's my guy, man. He did me a solid. I ain't gonna say what he did, but I asked him to do something for me, and he did it. So shout out to him, man. That's my brother.
Well, listen, man.
You know what he did for me?
I know exactly what he did.
Don't say it on camera.
Of course not. Listen, man. We know the code, and we abide by the code. You know, till death do us part. You know.
Yeah. Shout out to Spence. You heard?
You know what I mean? Until death do us part. So, the album, you have some collaborations on there with this album. Talk about some of the collabs that you have on this album.
Okay, first I got a KG from Naughty by Nature. He gave me a beat on the arm. You know, that's crazy to me, because that's like one of my heroes. You know what I'm saying? So he gave me a beat. The song is entitled, what's that song? Sheesh, what's the name of the song? EO Flow. Damn. That's my queen to the right. Yeah, it's called EO Flow. Ah, look, you got hold of You know what I'm saying? It's called EO Flow. Intro by Vinny from Art. So it's like my collaboration with Naughty by Nature on my album. That's one of the highlights. He gave it to me on my birthday last year, but I wasn't able to put it out till the beginning of this year. So I put it out. The distributor was giving me a hard time releasing the album because Vinny was on there and they thought I stole his vocals or whatever. So they wouldn't release it until I got him to call them and say, nah, like, you know, that's my guy. So I hit him. It was almost midnight. I hit him like, yo, they ain't gonna release the album. Don't you know that man reached out to the label at 1 in the morning and gave them permission and told them to release it, and they did it. So shout out to Uncle Vinny. Love that man with all my heart. You know, he's very, very solid. Shout out Uncle Vinny, shout out to KG, and shout out to Old Beezy. That's my old head. Really, really old, and I love him too. So
well, salute to Vinny, salute to KG, salute to you, salute to your queen, and everybody get a horn, goddammit.
Shout out to KG.
Now listen, your lineage in New Jersey hip hop, I think we talked about this the last time. It spans like all of hip hop royalty from Jersey. Naughty by Nature. Shout out to Lords of the Underground, Do It All, who Do It All is one of the underrated. Lords of the Underground, period. I just want
they gotta put some respect on dude. He does a lot.
I want to salute him because I actually want to have him on the show. I want to actually have him in the studio. So if you could help me with that, I would greatly appreciate it.
That's a phone call. That's a phone call.
Would greatly appreciate it. But so Lords of the Underground, Naughty by Nature, Redman, Flavor Unit, Apache.
Apache put me in the game.
He put you in the game.
Yeah,
so
rest in power, Apache. Love him.
Shout out to Dev in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Shout out to Dev.
This is Tuned In with the TKB Report. I'm your host, Mr. Three Keys. For everybody that's new to the discussion, welcome to the show. Make sure you follow me at the TKB Report, TheTKBReport. Make sure you subscribe to the TKB Report YouTube channel. And everybody that's here on my behalf, make sure you follow The Real Drift at The Real Drift on Instagram. And we're going to get into how you can follow him like on everything. Shout out to comedian Ty Rainey. Welcome back. So we're going to shift a little bit. You had a relationship with quite a few people. One of them that most recently passed was Black Rob. And
yeah, that's my guy. That's my boy.
You did an homage to him in your other creative talent with a portrait, which is one of the most distinct, exact portraits that you may have done to date. That one, Do It All, DMX, like all of them are just amazing. Talk about the relationship you had with Black Rob and how that, when you heard that news, how that affected you.
Yeah, I met Black Rob when I was on tour. I was on tour 2004. And we had a couple dates together, and
that's dope.
He was just very solid, very down to earth. I was just starting out. I only had one song. Sorry, I only had one song. He had Whoa, he had I Dare You, he had like several songs. And he just didn't treat me like I was an artist with one song. He treated me like I was on Bad Boy. So, we always maintain that rapport. Every time I see him, it's a hug. He don't shake my hand, it's a hug. And he was just very solid, I didn't speak to him very often, but when we saw each other, it was love was mutual. So, I didn't know he was suffering. I didn't know he was dealing with ailments. I didn't know he was having, financial issues, nothing like that. So it broke my heart to see him suffering like that at the end.
Well, he had a song with another cat that you cool with, 24 Hours to Live.
Truth.
Which is I think one of hip hop's most underrated songs.
Classic song, yeah.
So the question I have for you is, as an artist, right? You kind of cover all the bases. I'm pretty sure, like if we put you on the spot, you could sing. You know what I mean? You probably could, you know what I mean? You probably could cook. You know what I mean? I'm trying to
No,
think of anything other.
everything else.
I'm just trying to think of everything else artistically that you might be able to do. You know, if you had 24 hours to live, and one time for my cousin all the way out of Westchester County. Thank you for tuning in. You know I love you, big sis. So if you had 24 hours to live, right? Artistically, like, who would you want to make an album? We're gonna go through the whole thing. Who would you want to make an album with if you had 24 hours to live?
24 hours to live, I had to make an album. Wow, that's a damn good question. I don't know, cause the guy I will make an album with, he don't even rap no more. Mace, he don't rap again. So,
Well, listen, we're gonna holler at Mace.
Yeah, holla at Mace. You know what I mean? I would do it with him. Pause. Even Puff Daddy. I would like to work with Puff Daddy because the music I make now is reminiscent of what he was making in the heyday of Bad Boy, and I do that deliberately. So I would say Puff Daddy. I want to be with the architect of the sound that I love the most. So I would say Puff Daddy.
And that was going to be my next question. Who would you make the album with lyrically, you know, in terms of collaboration? And then I was going to ask, who would you want to be the producer if you had 24 hours to live? And you answered with Puff.
Puff. Kiss. Lyrically, I would like to work with Kiss because I just love the style and the energy he brings. Plus, he had Gemini's birthday 2 days before mine, so I see a lot of similarities, especially when he had the verses with Fabulous. I saw so much of myself in him. It was like hysterical, you know what I mean? So I say Kiss for sure.
Well, that's going to shout out to Pam in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Salute.
Yeah, shout out to everybody watching.
You know, shout out to everybody. So you mentioned Kiss, you mentioned Mace, and you mentioned Puff. Now, for those of you who really know Drift, right? Like the song you had, "Can You Handle It"? Is that the name of the song? You got the other one that the most recent.
That's called For Me.
For Me, right?
Yeah.
So For Me, your most recent, Say It Back. When I look at those songs, I'm like, damn, this brother's a true artist because if people really know you, you kind of got a completely different zone that you could be in. Yeah. You know. So talk about where, like, how you balance the Drift in that zone, and I don't want to say it all crazy, but you know, people who know you know.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of make like that music that happy completely different rap. Like, talk about that balance.
He knows me. I like I'd rather be in the happy zone. I'd rather be in that fly zone. I'd rather get dressed up, make some fly music, you know, drink my little champagne. That's why I want to be 24/7. So that's it. That's happiness to me. That's happiness on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the other stuff is, you know, it's bad for business. So I really, I just want to focus on just fly energy, and I want to be an asset. I never want to be a liability. I was a liability for a long time. I want to be an asset now. So.
Listen, man, I got a saying that I probably got from somebody who got more gray hair than me, and it said, "You live and you learn if you're lucky." You know what I mean? So you lived, you know, you still living.
Yeah.
You learned,
and
you're lucky to be in the position that you in.
Yeah, you know? Fortunate even.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
you know, coming up in the Essex County area, you know, coming up in the certain parts of Union County, real difficult to dodge bullets literally, and we managed to do so. So you know, big up to us. Salute to us, guys.
For sure.
You know,
for sure.
So we're gonna shift into the other lane of art that you in.
Yeah.
Shock G, DMX, Black Rob, Pop Smoke, like the list goes on and on and on. And it seems like you can freestyle a portrait like you can freestyle lit rhyming. That precision of artistry, explain that to the people because I find it to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think I just attribute that to Allah's blessing once again, because it's like essentially it's my mind. Like my mind guides my hand. You know, I don't even know where the inspiration comes from, but it's like almost like something comes over me, like some energy, and I just, you know, I pour whatever's in my mind and my heart onto the canvas or the paper or whichever. You know, so it's like it's just a gift that I've been given, and I had it since I was a child. But music was popping so much, I put it to the back burner.
Yeah.
And then music failed. I fell flat on my face, and I had to go back to the art. I went back to the art as a stress reliever, you know. And then I posted one of the images I drew on Facebook, and somebody asked to buy it. You know, I was like, wow, I just did this to, you know, get, you know, the heaviness off of my heart. So I did another one. Somebody asked to buy that, and then, you know, like a snowball effect. You know, and then, you know, I'm in a space now where that's like my primary source of income. It's like how I fund my career and everything. So,
You know, shout out to First Life, Family First Life, life insurance policy. If y'all need life insurance, make sure you holler at me, DM me. If you know me, text me, call me. And if you need life insurance, I can hook you up. No, I won't hook you up. I got people in place to hook you up.
I could hook you up for sure.
So I'm gonna stay on the art a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we're gonna collab this question. Top 5 of all time rappers and top 5. Who's in your top 5 portraits that you've done so far?
Top 5 portraits. I want to say top 5 portrait. Anyone I've done of Nipsey, like as soon as I put it on the gram, it sells. Not that that's my goal, but, you know, I admire Nipsey and his energy and his frame of mind and just his heart. So I say Nipsey, DMX for sure. Nipsey, DMX. Definitely, I did one of my sisters when she passed, and that kind of like healed. It didn't heal my heart, but it soothed me. I'm like, well, I can know anytime I want to see it, I could just paint her, you know, over and over and over. So that Nipsey, DMX, my sister. I did one of Maxine Waters. That came out really, really beautiful. And I even did Cicely Tyson. It came out beautiful as well. So I say those 5.
And they go that balance. You know, you don't went from DMX to Maxine Waters. Like how balanced?
That's crazy.
You can't get no more balance than that.
Yeah. And you said 5 rap artists?
Well, yeah, and what's your top 5? Yeah.
Top 5. Well, this is my personal list. I don't want anybody watching to get angry. Like, oh, you left 5 such. It's like, no, I didn't leave nobody out because they know wasn't my favorite. So, Maze for sure. Kiss. Maze, Kiss. Maze, Kiss. I used to love T.I. when he first came out, before he started talking too much. Tip. Nas for sure. Nas changed my whole life. And definitely Biggie. I've been listening to Biggie a lot these days. And Biggie was a super genius, and his light got put out way too early. So I would say.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And Spence being stupid told with some MC brains for sure.
Spence was started drinking early this evening.
but all right, so you mentioned changing your life, right? Shout out to Morris in the building. Shout out. You mentioned changing your life. I saw a post that you did recently. You were at a sip and paint party.
Yeah.
And I think in the post you wrote, art has changed your life. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, for sure.
In so many ways. Talk about that avenue of revenue stream now, because what people don't understand about being such a talented artist, there's a lot of talented people on the planet, but they don't know how to convert that into cash, into revenue streams. And you found a way to do that, you know. So you're selling artwork, you're selling music. I didn't mean to cut you off. And then you are now doing sip and paint. Talk about the sip and paint and the art and how that's truly changed your life, like you mentioned in the post.
Yeah, the sip and paint, even like that, I stumbled upon that. You know, somebody asked me would I like to try it. I like, yeah, I'll try it, no problem. And it was just like really lucrative. And then I love the energy of sipping paint. It's like it's laid back. People are creating, you know, they're drinking or whatever, and it's like a real creative space, positive energy, positive aura. You know, I was like, oh, I like to create. You know, it puts me in a different mind frame. So I'm even, as we speak, trying to secure a location just so I can have my own facility where we can do that every night. You know, and so,
Wow.
yeah, preferably, you know, all goes well this weekend. And yes, as Miss McFadden said, it's the vibe, beautiful vibe. So I'm into vibe and I'm into energy now. You know, as I get older and all that rah-rah shit is in the past, like you want to have a smooth vibe, you know? So, you know, that amongst art, I see people appreciate art. You know, something that's appealing to the eye. Also, it has multiple meanings and this could be soothing. It can have a, you know, a sentimental value. You know, art is just dope. And I'm angry at myself that I pushed that gift away for so long, but I was forced to stare it in the face, man. Saying either you use your gift or you lose your gift, and I'm gonna use mine. So.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, man. If you would have got to it too soon, you wouldn't have appreciated it. You probably wasn't in the space.
Absolutely.
So it happened at the time it was supposed to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was a very foolish young man. You was there. I was a foolish young man. And I wouldn't have appreciated it. You know I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have appreciated it. I'd have shunned it. But now it's like, you know, everything I do now pertains to art. You know, so I just thank Allah every day for it. You know, like it opened doors for me. It makes life easy. I don't have any financial woes like I used to have. You know, I tell my son I was too broke to pay attention. He finds that so hysterical, but that's the best way I could describe it. You know,
we all been there.
Yeah, man. Like I was so broke, like I couldn't even see life in color. Like life was black and white. Like I was broke. You know what I mean? And I'm just very fortunate. So.
And I saw a different post where I think you were in, I don't know if it was a dojo, but it was a space where the mayor of East Orange,
that's my guy,
had your artwork showcased.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. Shout out to Mayor Ted Green. I love him with all my heart. My sister passed away. He called me almost every day when it happened, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yo, this is the mayor of my favorite city in the world, and he's calling little old me to make sure I'm okay. You know, so I just love him, and he's very supportive. He was instrumental in me having my own art gallery at City Hall twice.
That's dope.
Yeah, they had art exhibits, and I was the primary artist. I'm like, me? You know? So shout out to the mayor. He doesn't try to stiff me on prices. He pay whatever I require. And his dojo is only my artwork. So, you know, I just shout out to Mayor Ted Green. Utmost love and respect. I appreciate you. You know, I appreciate what you've done for the city. I met him at a party, like a hood party. He was in the middle of it. I said, whoa. Like, what is this? You know what I mean? So, I love the man. I love him. He's solid. So shout out to the man.